calm, the importance of being calm, and how suffering calls us to find peace. In the chaos of our modern world, finding peace within ourselves can often feel like an impossible task. I know this all too well, and I'm sure you're nodding your head too. Yet, it is precisely during the times of suffering that the need for calm becomes most apparent. And yet, when we face these challenges, whether they're big or small, our initial reaction is one of panic and anxiety. We feel the weight of our emotions bearing down on us, clouding our judgment and causing us to react impulsively. And how much support do we really get? We actually have to dig pretty deep into our pockets to look for professionals, whether it be in the self-help industry, coaching, medical, dietitians, or consulting and therapy, in order to get the support we need. Most of them have had experience in this as well, personally, and of course, educationally. But why do we live in a world where we feel that we cannot share this for fear of judgment? Many of us are intuitives, empaths, and so we kind of understand that, my brother, my sister, my friend, my neighbor, my coworker, they're going through so much stress. I don't need to add to their plate. And very rarely does somebody really ask, how are you? Yeah, there's a daily practice, knee-jerk reaction. How you doing? How are you? What you up to? But if you really sit down and start detailing it, people will be like, anyways, looking at their wrists, I gotta get going. Or their phone. So after a series of this type of events, we'll come to a place where we don't feel comfortable really sharing our challenges and our feelings, whether they're big or small. I always suggest to people that they do what is called baiting, which means you would start off by saying, not really that great today. How are you? And that's baiting. So the opposite person, the person opposing you, could say, oh, really? Why? What's going on? Say, well, I just got diagnosed with something and I'm a little suffering with that today. And then they might like, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, I gotta go. And then that's it. That's still a disappointment. And if you have, I look for Neptune in a chart, or sometimes Pluto, or a lot of 12th house stuff. I know that's technical, but you're going to have abandonment issues. And if you have abandonment issues, trauma, rejection is going to trigger that wound. We are not the events, the diagnosis, the people that have hurt or harmed us. We are the emotions and the feelings that is a result of that. And we are not even the emotions and the feelings that are a result of that, because that is asking us to heal something. To heal something, it's a ritual, like prayer or school or work or breakfast or brushing our teeth. It's a daily ritual. You may feel disheartened thinking, why do I have to make healing a daily practice? Why can't I just be happy? But what if instead of reacting, we choose to respond with calmness and clarity? What if we were to be able to see beyond our immediate circumstances and recognize that suffering is a part of human experience? I'm going to give you a really deep knowledge and download that I received recently. at the end of this podcast. Being calm does not mean ignoring or suppressing our emotions, not at all. If you've read any or watched any of the work of Gabor Mate, When the Body Says No, you'll understand that. In fact, right now, I am taking one of his courses on one commune, and I think they still have a 50% off sale. It's like $49. It's excellent. You have to watch. You have to go there and sign up. When we are calm, we are better able to empathize with others and offer support when it is needed most. And that is the key to understand, that when somebody does not nibble on your bait, when you share with them some of your pain, it really means that they're not in a good place to be able to empathize with you, because they are also in pain. We become beacons of light in the world that can often feel dark and overwhelming. Now, you may be saying, I'm always open to listening to people's problems. I'm always nibbling on that bait. I am the one who says, oh my gosh, are you okay? Talk to me. But you have to be careful that if you too are still suffering in pain and you find yourself in situations where you're the listener, you're the receiver, but nobody's ever doing that for you, ask yourself, am I offering myself? Am I extending my gifts, my love, my heart to other people when I really don't have the energy within myself or the healing within myself to do so? And am I doing this so that they like me, so that they accept me, so they think I'm a good person? If that's the case, then you want to sit with why you need that. A lot of therapists, counselors, doctors, people going to medical school, they are those types of people. May we all find the strength to be calm in the face of adversity, knowing that it is through our calmness that we can truly make a difference in the world. Baby steps. I'm in Mexico, Puerto Morelos, and I walked to the grocery store the other day. They have a church. I just love Mexico with their churches because the doors are always wide open all day, early in the morning to late at night, and you can just walk in and sit down anytime you like, whether there's a service or not. So I really find that I just love it. And so I walked into one, the only one that's here. It's a small place, and I sat there, and I was in the back, and way up in the distance on the altar was a very large red flickering candle right in the middle. So I stared at that. That was my meditation, to stare at that light. And I didn't have any questions. I just asked my higher self, source, guides, gods, whatever, to give me some answers, whatever I need. And I often question. I don't question when I'm talking with clients because they will immediately validate my downloads, whether it's confirming or not. But when I'm talking to myself, when I'm walking in nature and I'm talking to myself and I'm looking for answers, that's what I'm asking. Am I talking to myself, or am I really getting answers? Are these knowings, or is this what I think I need to hear? Probably a bit of both, but that's what I guess that's the answer that I got when I was sitting there, and I didn't even ask for that. So I was getting some answers. To be honest, I can't remember what those were. And that's not important, because what I'm about to tell you is what is important. And I got an answer, and then I repeated it in my head. You know how you can have that dialogue in your head? where you're playing out scenarios and there's a narrator and you're playing out both parts, you and your sister, how you had a fight yesterday and what you should have said, and you're having all this discussion. Well, that's what we do. But just before that, when you're walking in nature and you're just getting knowings, there is no dialogue. There's no words in your head. There's just this knowing, this understanding. It's like you see a picture. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And you just get this image, but it isn't even a physical image. It's just a knowing, an image, a knowing without the dialogue, without interpreting it in your head. And so that's what I started to do, was the interpretation. And Source said, stop it. Stop the interpretation in your language. Just get the knowing and feel the feeling in your body and skip the narration in your head, because that's where we get carried away. Specifically, when we're in a state of chaos, frustration, confusion, overwhelm, or in darkness. We do this. So I started practicing that now. I don't do that. I catch myself. At first it was hard because the dialogue came immediately. It was hard. But by the time I left, 20, 30 minutes sitting there in this state, I got it down pat. And I've been taking neurolinguistic programming. I've studied it. I've taken courses in it. I use it with my clients. And that's one of the major lessons is don't follow the train of thought. Look at it as a box on a conveyor belt. Just let it pass on by, pass on by. You know, if you go to Buddhist or Eckhart Tolle or any types of meditation, just it's a thought. Just let it go on by. But I've never really been able to implement it regularly until then. Now, that doesn't mean that all of the teachings and the certificates and the readings and the lessons that I've purchased or saw on podcasts didn't contribute to this moment. They absolutely did. So I wish you the strength to be calm in the face of adversity and hope that these words will make a difference in your world. Namaste.